is up, everybody? I want to make a new YouTube channel. For the last couple years I've been wanting to make a YouTube channel, really just going over a lot of issues, a lot of concerns I have, and not just bringing up problems, but giving you a simple solution to a lot of problems that maybe you're unaware of at this time, but you will be aware of in the future, and maybe some problems that you already are aware of. And like I said, there's a simple solution to basically every problem we have. We never need to resort to a chemical. So for the past 5 years, I've been fully plant-based, and for the most part, I've ate a USDA organic diet. And I'll agree that USDA organic doesn't mean too much nowadays, but it's definitely a lot safer. And once you start going down the health rabbit hole of GMOs, nanotech particles, just high fructose corn syrup and seed oils. I was a farmer for a long time. I started farming whenever I was a little kid on a conventional citrus grove, and basically every chemical you can think of and more goes onto our food. So the reason I'm making this channel is to help a lot of people's health. There's a lot of people my age, in their 20s, even in their teens, in their 30s, that have all types of health issues, diseases, aches, pains. None of that's normal. There's a reason why more and more diseases are on the rise every single year, and there's new diseases coming out every single year. There's a reason. It's not genetics. Can't play that genetics card. Because how did our genetics get mutated in the first place? Why are our genetics getting worse every single year? So we're definitely going to tackle health, and like I said, to every problem there's a simple solution, and that's true. We'll be sharing lots of natural remedies, and all diseases are caused by environment, mind state, and what you put in your body. Environment, mind state, and what you put in your body. Now, a doctor is not going to tell you that, because a doctor doesn't get paid if he tells you that. A doctor only gets paid if you get sick and you get his treatment. And the treatments that doctors offer you is a pill or a surgery. There's no preventative measures. There's no why you got sick in the first place. They're not taught that. They're not taught how to prevent it. They're not taught how to heal you naturally. They're only taught to write you a prescription or to give you surgery. And the human body is amazing. God built it perfectly. Like I said, if you're conscious about your mind state, if you're a super stressed out person, you have an unhealthy mind state. If you're conscious on what you're putting in your body, if you're only putting clean foods in your body and nutrient-dense foods in your body will heal. And your environment. You can see where I'm at right now. There shouldn't be too many chemicals around me. Unfortunately, only the ones that fall from the sky. But if you're in a toxic environment, and that can be anything, that can be the dish soap in your house, that can be the Febreze you sprayed in your bathroom, that can be so many little things that you're not thinking of, fragrances that are harming you. That's a toxic environment. You have to clean those things up. We're going to be focusing a lot on fitness. Fitness. No weight training, really, mainly all calisthenics. We'll share tons of the benefits of working out, of training, what it does to your brain, what it does to your body. I really want to make this channel for people who have a hobby, have a passion, but they don't know how to turn that into income. And I want this channel to bring lots of investors in, not investing in the channel, but just have a community of investors in the stock market, in crypto, whatever you invest in, real estate, and just have a place where we can all come together and learn from each other. So we're going to be focusing a lot on fitness, a lot on health. And some people think fitness and health go hand in hand, and they do, but just because you're healthy, just because you're ripped, just because you're jacked, doesn't mean you couldn't have stage 4 cancer. You know, somebody could be the healthiest looking person, but on the inside they're tore up, they're disease ridden, they're hurting, they're aching, their organs are failing, and that's not longevity. There's There's a difference in somebody who just wants to get big at the gym and somebody who's trying to live as long as they can. So we're going to be focusing a lot on fitness and health and a lot on diet. So I want to do something different than anybody's ever done. Like I said, a doctor only gets paid if he writes you a prescription, and the system's broken. People are aware of what's going on. What they aren't aware of is the knowledge that I have built the last 5 years, learning about edible plants, about medicinal plants. I really got into it whenever I learned how just chemically our food is grown and how harmful it is for us. And it's very unfortunate. You can be eating a vegetable, right? A vegetable is supposed to be healthy. You can be eating a vegetable, but if there's insecticide on it, pesticide on it, fungicide on it, if there's these chemicals on it, it's not the same thing. It's actually doing more harm to your body than good. And that's just not that's not just for vegetables. That's for any product you buy from the grocery store. It could be eggs that the chicken was raised chemically. It could be beef. It's not just vegetables. It's not just fruits. It's everything you buy from the grocery store has a chance to be contaminated. That is the conventional way, is to use chemicals, unfortunately. And conventional farming, conventional agriculture is not sustainable. They know it's not sustainable. They know it's not healthy for us. They know it's not healthy for the environment. Why are they doing it? Just for that. Same thing with the doctors. Why are they doing it? Just for that. But what I want to do is totally different. I want to offer one-on-one with anybody who's sick, with anybody who's serious about getting better. This is something that I've thought a lot about, and the only way I can be genuine and give you the knowledge that I have gained, which everybody should have this for free. And that's why if you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of money, you can have it for free. Now, if you want to leave a tip, you can leave a tip. It's really simple. There's a formula. Lots of people know this formula. You can tweak this formula. There's a formula, and if you follow this formula and you stop putting garbage in your body, you start changing your mind state to be more positive, you get out of that toxic environment, you can heal anything. Anything. Okay? Now, there is medicinal plants, and plants are medicinal. And now, if you take into consideration what I just said, that God made us perfect and he knew exactly what he was doing, and if you stop putting yourself in those toxic situations, you'll heal. Now, if you add nutrition into that, like a special plant specifically for a pain or a disease or an organ that you need to heal, if you add a specific herb for that, you're tremendously upping your chances, tremendously. So for the past 5 years, I've basically not been using my body as an experiment because I knew it could be done before I could do it. But there's a lot of misconceptions that you can't be vegan or you can't be plant-based and be healthy and get all the vitamins and all the nutrients you need, and that's just simply so far-fetched. And if anybody out there believes in the Bible, well, Adam and Eve, before sin was born, they were vegan, they were plant-based, whatever you want to call it. They didn't eat meat, they didn't kill until sin was born. So obviously, just hearing that alone, you should know that if you didn't know, you can be totally healthy being plant-based. And for the last 5 years, I've been plant-based and I've been vegan, and I've been studying nutrition, and basically any vitamin or nutrient you ask me about, I can tell you a couple plants or a couple fruits or whatever, a couple vegetables that I can get that vitamin from. So yeah, basically there's just a ton of people out there who are totally misinformed that you can't be plant-based and be healthy. You have to eat meat to be healthy and just all this craziness. But in reality, the average American is only eating a couple foods a week, and it's just the same foods on rotation. And there's so much diversity on what we can eat on this planet. It's absolutely insane. And whenever you stop eating all those garbage foods that you're always eating and that you were just born around and born eating, it opens you up to so much new food, so much new plants, so much new nutrition, so many new flavors that your body has never had. And to me, it's always a joy when I get to eat a new plant or eat a new fruit that I've never had, because I know that each fruit, each plant is different slightly, nutritionally, medicinally. There's so many diseases out there, and so many diseases that have never even came to be yet, and a plant can cure all of those diseases, even new diseases that we don't even know about. There's a plant that can cure it. This is what they're here for. This isn't a video about being a vegan or anything like that. This is just a video about truth. I'm not pushing anything on anybody. I can only simply tell you what I've observed in my life, what I've learned in the last 5 years, and what I know has worked for me and what I have observed. The next 2 to 3 months, we're going to be doing that and documenting it and sharing. And I'm not just going to be eating, I'm going to be training at least 4 to 5 days every single week, maybe 6. Probably 5 days minimum every week. And I'm only going to be doing calisthenics. Maybe one day of the week I'll throw some light weights in there and put them into my calisthenic workouts. We'll be talking a lot about why calisthenics, in my opinion, is better. And it's really going to be something special. It's really going to be something that can shake up the world and piss a lot of billionaires off, because they're profiting off of you guys. You guys are paying for the poisoning. You guys are paying for the medicine that's making you sick again, and it's just a whole corrupt system, and it's not sustainable. None of it's sustainable. And if we don't do something about it now, if we don't fix these problems, a lot of these problems you guys don't see yet, but if we do not fix them now, by 2050, there's going to be acid rain. There might not even be trees growing. Like, have you guys seen the movie WALL-E? Why is that a Disney movie? Ask yourself, why is there so many movies desensitizing us to that kind of thing? So, and it's not a secret, it's not a conspiracy. What we are doing to this planet, what we're doing to our body, it's not good. America is industrializing hundreds of thousands of chemicals. America has made over 500,000 chemicals, and guess how many have been tested? Less than 50,000. So there's a lot that needs to change, and it's not a big fix. It's not a big problem to overcome. All we have to do is accept the problem, and the problem is solved. There doesn't need to be a revolution and riots and none of that. Nobody needs to get hurt. We just need to accept the problems. And once we know the truth and we've accepted the problems, we'll stop playing into the games. We'll stop buying the poison. We'll stop killing ourselves and mutating the genetics of future generations on Earth. It's insane. When you buy a chemical, let's just use Roundup for an example. When you're spraying that weed killer in your garden or on your sidewalk, it doesn't disappear. It doesn't just go into thin air. It goes into our water supply, and that's going to stay on Earth forever. It's going to mutate the genetics of humans forever. It never goes away. Once it's created, it's here. And guess what? You paid for it. Your hard-earned money, you paid for it. So part of the solution is boycotting. We're going to be boycotting a lot. But there's a lot to dive on, and there's definitely going to be a lot of eye-opening on this channel, and there's going to be just truth seekers. If you found this channel, and if you're somebody who, like I said, is having diseases, having aches and pains, and you're 20, you're 30 years old, you got inflammation in your body, that this isn't normal, okay? What they did to my generation, what they're doing to the generation right now with the food that they're feeding, it's never been done, guys. We're guinea pigs. Already, the life expectancy every single year for humans goes down, okay? So can you imagine what it's going to be like for our generation or for the generation younger than me? If we're looking at 70 right now is already the average lifespan for my parents' generation and for my grandma and grandpa, we're looking at 50 for me. And I know that, and I can say that because I know what they're doing to our mitochondria, our health. And mitochondria is the powerhouse of your cells. And when you start researching these ingredients that are in all your foods, why are they shoving them down your throat? Why are they forcing them in all your foods? It's because it's destroying your mitochondria health, and they're killing you. They're shortening everybody's life. So we're going to be exposing all that. If you can't pronounce it, you shouldn't be eating it. Simple as that. I don't care if it's a vitamin, it's synthetic, it's chemical, it's bullshit. We get our vitamins from the food we eat, from fruits, from vegetables. That's all we need to get our vitamins from. We don't take it from a lab, okay? That's crazy. But we're gonna be exposing all the ingredients that you should not be eating, that you should stay far, far, far away from. And for the most part, it's pretty simple. If you can't pronounce it, you shouldn't be eating it. You should always go with the organic choice. The organic is always healthier. And best of all, you should be growing food yourself. I don't care if you got an apartment. If you got a balcony, if you got a sunny window, have a tomato plant, have a basil plant, have an oregano plant. Have something that you're growing that comes from you that you know is 100% safe. And another thing, organic food is on average 21% more nutritious. On average. Now, how could that be? Well, when food is grown in a dust bowl, when food is grown in sand, naturally, there's not going to be nutrients in it. The nutrients that they fertilize those trees with was synthetic. It was lab made. It's not real. It's harming everything living in the soil. It's making everything living in the soil run away. So of course it's not going to be as nutritious as food that was grown in the forest with all these other plants around it, with worms in the soil, with ants and everything living. It's a living soil web that makes your food nutritious. It's not some synthetic fertilizer you throw on the ground and spray Roundup around your tree. That's not what makes your food nutritious. So when you grow the food yourself, it is naturally way more nutritious, and connecting to your own food is very special. But you guys stay tuned. I could ramble for hours and hours and hours and hours. I'm passionate about this. I've been wanting to make this channel for a long time. I know I can help. I know I can heal. Guys, if you have stage 4 cancer, there's hope. You don't need a doctor. It's seriously like that out here. And we're blessed. God is real.